Well, personally, this topic for me, it's such an intriguing one. I kind of love the topic because it's talking about happiness, and who doesn't like happiness? And even if they are, society should not make it look as if you're not in a relationship or have a professional achievement, you're not happy or fulfilled. You get that kind of thing.
If happiness is not the outcome, what should we be pursuing instead? Good day and welcome to another episode of Understanding Our Social World, the podcast where we deconstruct, construct, and reconstruct assumptions, norms, and explore the essence of what makes us a social being. I am your host, Khalid Alaude, and today we are tackling a subject as old as humanity itself, the pursuit of happiness. What does it mean to be truly happy? Is it a deeply personal journey, or is it shaped by the society we live in? How much of what we chase in the name of happiness is genuinely ours? And how much is a product of social constructs, expectations, and trends? In this episode, we'll explore these questions and more with my guest, UmulKhayr Shuaibu. She is a mass communication student of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and she currently serves as the Vice President of Mass Communication Student Association, MACOSA. We will both look into how culture, consumerism, and our social environment influence our understanding of happiness and discuss whether we are seeking an authentic feeling or chasing an illusion, among others. So sit back, relax, and let's explore what it means to pursue happiness in today's world. Umul, it is nice having you. Thanks for joining us in today's episode of our podcast.
Thank you for this warm welcoming. Like, it's such a biography. Like, thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're the most welcome, man. So we'll move to the first question, and that question is, what does happiness mean to you personally? And can you call it a state of mind, a feeling, or something that is much on a deeper level?
Well, personally, this topic for me, it's such an intriguing one. I kind of love the topic because it's talking about happiness, and who doesn't like happiness? So the question is, what does happiness mean to me personally? Well, to me, I would say happiness means different things. Sometimes it's just, a happy feeling. On one hand, happiness can be feeling of joy, contentment, euphoria. But at a deeper level, if I must say, happiness is also a sense of fulfillment, right?
Wow.
Meaning that arises from living in the life, that aligns with your passion. You get like when you feel
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
life is going well, you're doing things that matter to you, and you feel like you're on the right path. Yeah, well, that's what happiness feels to me.
That was a great response. You know, a lot of people, when they think of happiness, they associate it with something materialistic. For example, when I have money, yes, I can be happy. That is, I just need money to be happy, and or I just need a car to be happy, or I just need an house to be happy. So these are stuff that like people do say when it comes to like happiness. But from what you said now, it has to do with something of a very deep level of like a sense of fulfillment, happy with what you are doing, being happy with what you have, and those are like according to what you said, what defines happiness on a very deeper level. Thank you for
Yeah.
the response there. So we'll move to the next question. How much of what we call happiness is rooted in personal fulfillment versus external validation?
Wow. Well, I don't know. I think it's a mix of both. But, if I must say, true happiness kind of comes from, personal fulfillment, if I must say. When we are doing something, that, like I said, aligns with your passion, strengths, we're more likely to experience, a sense of satisfaction, like, yeah, I'm there. But when we talk about external validation, it can only like provide temporary boost to our happiness, but it's never really reliable. Like when you rely too heavily on external validation, like I must get a car, I must get a house. When it's not there, like you become so vulnerable. Like you become, is that when you become sad? Like it's not there, the house is not there, the car is not there. That is when you see people falling into depression. Oh, I'm not making it in life. I feel so sad. Am I really going to make it? No. Like you get, it's more, rooted in personal fulfillment. I think that's what we call happiness.
Yeah, that's external validation. And in fact, for me, external validation can sometimes ruin one's happiness. Like, let me give you an
Yeah.
example. Sometimes probably I want to like I'm actually pursuing a certain objective because of external validation, which I believe is going to make me happy, you understand? Then after getting that achievement, I now realize that a lot of people don't even really care about what I've done. See, that happiness is going to be around, like so external validation in most times actually ruin one's happiness. And sometimes they
Yeah.
actually complement our personal, you understand, our personal fulfillment, you understand, for happiness. Because when I feel like personal fulfillment needs to come first before external validation. We cannot base the
Yeah.
foundation of happiness you understand, to external validation. Because if it is based on external validation only, depression is going to be at the end of the tunnel, you understand? So thank you for
Yeah.
the response. How does society shape the things we believe will make us happy, such as wealth, relationships, or achievements, and other stuff like that?
Well, I think society actually plays a huge role in shaping our beliefs about what makes us happy. Like, from young age, you'll be hearing things like, oh, you need to be rich, you need to be a president, you need to be a governor, you need to be a
Yeah,
minister, like
yeah.
to be happy. You need material possessions and all that. And this message can be very, very persuasive, like you put it in mind like, I must make it, I must do this to be happy. This is like, get that kind of thing. Similarly, you always hear that happiness comes from romantic relationships or professional achievement. No doubt, too, these things can certainly bring joy and, fulfillment, but they are not the only source of happiness you get, and they may not be the most reliable or enduring source either. And even if they are, society should not make it look as if you're not in a relationship or have a professional achievement, you're not happy or fulfilled. You get that kind of thing.
Yeah, I understand. There was a
Yeah,
particular time, I think in my secondary school days, something happened, and it was a man, a pastor, I think, in this car,
mm,
like very luxurious car, Jeep, sorry, on the Third
yeah.
Mainland Bridge. Just asked his driver that, please, can you park? I want to receive some calls. After the driver parked, this particular man got down from his car and jumped into the lagoon under the Third Mainland Bridge. And
What?
normally, yeah, he literally committed suicide. And normally, when you see people with those kind of cars, you'll be like, this man must really
Oh,
be
this
happy.
person is not
And
you.
because that is what society defines as happiness. We having a car, we having something like you having an house. These are what people think are indicators or indications of happiness. And when you look at, sometimes you are going to see people, small kids, playing on the streets, and you see them that they are really, really happy, despite the fact that they don't have car, they don't have
Like,
house. They don't have, in fact, their parents are not even having that kind of lofty dreams of having those kind of stuff. Are you getting it? So
exactly.
like it is very, very important that yeah, society might actually think something as happiness, but it is actually very, very important for us to actually define what happiness really means to us personally.
Yeah,
I'll just share
personal.
personal experience. In my secondary school days, during my exes around my SS3, I don't know. That has been my best times when it comes to happiness. Like my best time when it comes to happiness, and because I don't know, it is something I cannot like. It's like a sense of fulfillment. I cannot explain why I was happy at that particular point in time. It's not that I'm not happy now, but it can't be compared, or I cannot compare it to at that particular time when I was necessary up to like a year after I finished or I graduated and stuff. So I felt like okay, someone was asking me like what does happiness mean? I was like, see, I cannot explain this happiness. Like it's something I'm feeling, it's a feeling I cannot really convey, you understand?
Like,
So
it's
like
not
and
something that you can explain.
at that particular time I didn't have like what do I don't have anything. I'm just a student with like you understand, just in fact, even scared of what Astro is going to do to me once I resume university, you understand? But then I was still happy. There was no
Yeah.
money, there was no relationship. I think my work result is not out at that particular point in time. So not talk of maybe there's some kind of achievement or something like that. So your response is really something that is actually that has really enriched this discussion about the fact that yeah, those things might actually like some contribute to happiness in some way, but they don't really define what true happiness is. Thank you so much,
Mm.
Amira. So can you like my next question is can you truly pursue happiness independently or is it always influenced by people around you or the systems around you?
Well, I think it's possible to pursue happiness completely independently. We're all influenced by our surroundings, though our relationship and cultural societal norms, that shapes our value. Even if we try to pursue happiness independently, we are still influenced by the people and system around us. Like, okay, well, I want to be myself, but there are still people out there that they are still intimidating you. You feel influenced. Like, I mean, you only feel there is a need to be happy when you see somebody else happy. You get like,
Happy.
okay, I
Yeah.
want to know how
Yeah.
it feels. To, like, let's say you go for a friend or family's wedding, then you now see everybody happy. You see bride smiling, you see groom smiling, you see everybody being jovial. That's when you feel like, oh, Omo, I want to get married too. I want to know how it feels. You get
Yeah, I
that
guess.
being said, I think you can still pursue happiness independently, sure, without being influenced. I mean, there are people out there that just go for what they want. They don't really care what people say or do. They are just about themselves. Like me, I must shall be happy, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. You get that kind of thing. Like they can
Honestly.
even go against their family and be like, come on, me, my own happiness is different. What I feel makes me happy is different. People tend to be like, oh, this person is selfish, oh, this person is against the norms in society and all that. But then they're about their happiness. So when there are people that actually depend on, other people influences, there are people that actually pursue their happiness independently.
So both is actually very possible. That
Yeah, they
is
are both possible. Oh.
seeking happiness independently or trying to make the system or the people around you influence your happiness. Personally, I feel both actually applies to me. I actually derive some kind of happiness when I go against the norms, like when I go against the people, when I go against the system, and it
Exactly.
gives
There's
me
this
positive
feeling
results.
of being a rebel. Like you feel happy, like, oh, I'm not doing things the way other people do it. And it
Exactly,
will make you happy. You feel
exactly.
different. You feel unique. Like, oh, I am setting my standards for myself. That kind of thing.
Exactly. And it is actually paying me. And at the same time, the system will actually contribute to that happiness, or the people will actually contribute to that happiness when they see that, wow, we are actually wrong. We are the one right, you understand? We are the right person and we are the wrong person, you understand? So, like, I think both of them, in some ways, can actually come and collaborate with each other and, you understand? So,
Exactly.
honestly, happiness actually means different things to different people, to everyone. And also, how would they get this happiness? Either by personal endeavor or by actually trying to get people to influence the system to influence what they see as happiness. Each of them actually have a way in which they contribute to individual happiness or own happiness. So that is going to take me to the next question. In today's world now, how much of what we pursue in the name of happiness is driven by consumerism or external pressure? And are people chasing an illusion of happiness created by marketing, media, or societal trends?
It's quite unfortunate. Like people actually pursue happiness like that are driven by consumerism and external pressures. Like we're constantly being sold the idea that happiness can be bought, whether it's through the latest gadget, fashion trend, luxury item. Like, okay, a new iPhone is out, oh, a new car is out. Oh, I want this Mercedes, I want this Lamborghini. You get like the fact that we
Yes,
feel like one day the trend in market is a new item in market. That is what means like when I possess them, that is when I am happy. Oh, I need to get it before everyone. It will make me happy. Blah blah blah. No, it won't make you happy. When next another new one comes out, you want to like get it too. So does that mean if there is no new one, you are sad, or if you are not having that particular one that is out in the market as of then, you are sad.
yeah,
That's when you find yourself. working double time, triple time, you'll be losing your mind because you want to make sure that you get all those material possessions for yourself whenever the need may arise. You get like that's the time you
Okay.
find yourself drifting away from the loved ones that actually make you happy. You find yourself pushing yourself away from maybe, let's say, your wife, your children, or let me say even your husband, because ladies too, they do that. Like everybody does it. Find yourself like you're forgetting the people that actually gives you the more happiness. You make it look like it's only things you buy in the market that's making you happy. And social media also like plays a huge role in shaping our desires and aspiration. They are the one bringing all this advice. Oh, if you have this, it's going to make you happy. This blah 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 blah. But the truth is, happiness can be bought. Like it's not something that can be purchased or acquired through external means. True happiness arises from within, and it's often the result of being contented. I mean, if you are contented, worldly things will not make you feel like, oh, where will I get my happiness? Oh, I need more of these. You get like all that kind of thing.
No, thank you so much. There was a particular when I was very young, that time BB, Blackberry was raining then. And when I got older, I got to hear some stories of some funny things that actually happened when the BB Blackberry was raining then. You know, some ladies, what they did was because of that Blackberry,
Mm.
actually sold themselves out. They sold themselves. They sold their dignity.
God,
And
I beg. What they go can't do for iPhone 16.
and where is Blackberry now? But then consumerism made them think by getting this thing out, by all means, by all you understand, they will be happy. But at the end, they ruin their happiness. Where is Blackberry now? I guess it is. So in
Exactly.
sometimes, because people think they are chasing happiness, but they are actually chasing consumerism, which is often influenced by what they see on the social media, what they see on our TV, on the radio, and also societal trends too. That is also there too. I cannot imagine somebody like, oh, I need to get iPhone 16, I need to get iPhone 16. And the only thing it does with that phone is to what? Is to WhatsApp to receive call and to do some other things that even Tonosobe phone can actually do. You understand? But just because of the fact that he wants to be happy, he just act like, okay, get that phone, like you understand, get that phone. But then all these things are actually consumerism and they are not really happiness. Like like you said, contentment is actually what makes like true happiness. That sense of fulfillment, sense of contentment is actually make one to actually feel fulfilled. Because if I have a Tonosobe and it's doing what I want and I'm actually contented by it, forget nothing can ruin my happiness
Exactly.
because I'm actually satisfied with what I have. You
I
get?
say nothing will shake you. Seeing all those things in markets will not be like, oh, I need this, I need that. No, you don't need it.
And in fact, the first thing that ruin happiness for me is when there are too much worries. And the less contented you are, the more worries you
The
get,
more
and the more
worries
your
you get.
happiness gets ruined. You understand? So that is about that. Now we are going to move into the next question, and that has to do with cultures. We have the West society that actually based on individualist culture, and we have many African society that deals with collectivist culture. So how do collectivist culture, like many African societies, the Asian societies like the Korean, and individualist culture like the West, North America, approach the idea of happiness differently?
Well, I'll say like in collective cultures like Africa, or let me say Asian societies and all, happiness is often seen as, a collective experience and arises from well-being and prosperity of the group. If all of us is happy, like if one of us is happy, all of us is happy. Oh, we have to gather and do this together. If it like, like in the olden days now, if not like fake life have entered Africa, sha, in the
Exactly.
olden days, like, oh, your daughter is getting married. Ah, all of us is happy. Oh, your son has gone to abroad. Oh, all of us are happy. That kind of thing. Unlike now,
Exactly.
Sha, unlike now that the Western culture has, like for example, let me say in a I don't know, extended family, you hear somebody is getting married, the way they are doing preparation, everybody is happy and
Everybody will
all
be
that.
happy and they'll be
Unlike
doing it jointly.
like exactly, unlike the individualist culture, like everybody is doing, oh, myself, myself, I only know myself, I only want to be like only myself, like I'm my first priority.
Exactly.
Like they're encouraged to pursue their own happiness on their own, even if it means sacrificing like other needs,
That people's
people's, it
happiness.
care. Anybody that stands in the way of my happiness is not, I just have to like go for my own happiness, Nikoe. That's the individualists, and the collectivists, sorry,
They
have their
have,
own way, and the
they have their
individualists
own.
are
And to funny enough, this individualist culture is getting into is already entering like is already marrying into the fabric of our society. Because
like,
honestly,
yes,
there was a time I went to visit somebody. So when I got there, this is a flat. When I got there, these guys, I asked somebody that I'm looking for a person. This person don't know the person I'm looking for. How come? They are both living in the same house. I don't know this person, and I know the person is a very lousy person and like an extrovert. You understand? Like like it mixes with a lot of people. Then I got to realize that all of them are didn't mind your business. All of them are minding their businesses. Nobody is. And I was like, what is this? Like, these are Western cultures that we are beginning to embrace, you understand? And these sometimes ruins our own happiness. Because happiness has to do with something that you've been made to understand since when you're small. For example, now when I'm small, like mixed with people in the village, mixed with people in the society, we do things together, we derive joy, we derive contentment from doing things together. You see some people that they cannot eat alone. They derive happiness when they eat with people, when they share food with people. You understand? People derive that's
exactly,
our African culture. You understand? But then when you get older and you begin to like meet yourself in an environment where everybody mind their businesses, everybody, your happiness gets ruined and you not get comfortable with it. You understand? You see some people that they ran away from abroad, back to Nigeria just because of the fact that they can't really cope with
and so you
this
can't cope with
individualist
it.
culture.
Everybody is just about their self there. Nobody cares about you. Like, you're on your
Exactly.
own.
Exactly. So like the way these two societies, these different societies, these two opposing societies define happiness is actually very, very different. Their approach to happiness is actually very different, which in turn, which also affects the way each of them pursue happiness. Why some sees happiness as a collective something, the other sees happiness as personal something, and in fact, I don't care about any other happiness. I can even ruin other people's happiness to actually achieve my own happiness. So that's actually very, very important. So,
Exactly.
our next question now is the idea of having it all, a realistic path to happiness, or is it a misleading societal construct?
Well, I think this is a complex one. With, I don't know, I think there is a validation on both sides. Like, there's an argument for it and against it as a path to happiness. Some argue
Okay.
that it's realistic, it's a realistic goal achievable through hard work, determination, and effective management. You know, the point to successful individuals who seem to have, balanced demanding careers with fulfilling personal life, suggesting that it's impossible to exert possible areas,
Yeah.
having it all, it depends on what you mean is having it all. Like, maybe to me now, having it all might be, let me have a good job, let me have a good spouse, and children. Because to me, what it depends on what you're having it all actually means. If that's my having it all, it's actually, a good path. It's not misleading. I just want to have everything to make my life, complete and all that. Wanting to have a good job, a spouse, and children is not misleading. I don't know. But then when it comes to, like, I don't know, being greedy in that aspect of having it all, it's quite misleading, because why do you want to have the entire money in the world? Sometimes I feel like, Elon Musk, the money you have is quite too much. Share.
Yeah.
There's love in sharing. You should not want to have it all. Like, it's quite unrealistic when that is your idea of having it all. Oh, I need to gather as much as I can. I need plenty money to be. No, you don't need plenty money. You just need small that will, you will not starve. Oh, that kind of,
Yeah.
you will
To
not
make you
starve.
live a
Well,
comfortable
that's
life.
my idea.
Okay, that's
All in all, yeah, living a comfortable life is, the perfect idea of having it all. It's the realistic, path to
realistic.
happiness.
Yeah. Thank you.
That, yeah,
Thank
having it all.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed that response, honestly. So we'll move to the next question. In our current world now, Like what makes this world different from the previous world, that is previous generation, is the fact that we have enormous choices. We have endless choices, like seemingly endless choices. Now, but now the question here is that does having more options, more choices makes us better, or does it create like more dissatisfaction?
I think, I don't know. Having too many options can actually lead to dissatisfaction and decreased sadness because when you have like too many choices, okay, you will now be like, which one should I do? Which one should I leave? No, I can't leave anyone behind. No, I have to do this. I have to do that. You become so when you just set, let's say, two, three goals for yourself, okay, and I'll achieve it. That's all. But when you start doing, okay, I want to go to this place, I want to do this, I want to do that, you start, you get overwhelmed. You start, you can start experiencing fear of missing out. Oh, I don't want to be left out. What if I did not do this? Oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, I need to do this before so time. No, you don't need a lot, like, to make you happy. You just need small things like those three things I mentioned: having good job, having good spouse, and of course children. Like those are kind of enough to make you happy. So you see, they are just three. But by the time you say, oh, having a Lamborghini, or having a Benz, or having a Porsche, all those ones will be almost like you're already getting yourself to, on the path of this dissatisfaction. By the time you don't end up having all those things, you start feeling like, oh, no, I didn't make it in life. Oh, I'm not happy. You get that kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
understand. Yeah, thank you so much. Even if the world gives us a lot of choices, we need to limit those choices ourselves. I
Yeah,
know
just
the
the
more
ones that aligns with you and leave the rest for others.
exactly, I know the more choices or the more things you are unable to achieve because of the fact that you've given yourself too much choices, the more dissatisfaction you get, and the more it can actually have negative impacts on your happiness. Understand? So that is actually very, very important. Like even regardless of the choices, like the enormous choices present in this world, we just need to set limits as to the kind of choices concerns us, you understand, concerns what we want to achieve, concerns our personal goal and our growth too. Thank you so much for that response. Is it possible that the relentless pursuit of happiness can lead to satisfaction or emptiness?
Let me see. It can possibly lead to, dissatisfaction when we constantly, are striving for happiness and fulfillment. We can, you start creating unrealistic expectation, like, and you start putting pressure on yourself. Like you want to, like when you continue pursuing happiness whereas you've already gotten into, it's a different case if, okay, I'm not happy yet with, okay, I'm not married, I don't have the job of my, I don't have children. When you continue pursuing it, it's no harm. But okay, let's say you already have those things, but you are still pursuing for more. That, okay, let me see, can I get happiness from this, can I get happiness from this? You start doing more, you can't dey do past yourself, like you are doing more than, way more than you're supposed to do. You're now doing over savvy. You find yourself feeling empty now because you're already letting that your job, that your husband you have, those children you have, you are like in a way losing them because you are going for more, you know form of happiness that it's not, maybe it's not even there, it's just in your head. You're just, thinking it, and it's not, realistic. You start feeling empty actually. Like it's, you just get exhausted, and you start feeling empty.
Thank you so much for that. Like happiness has limits. I believe that I feel that what we think of happiness is going to be what is going to be happiness to us. You understand? And
Yeah,
the more you understand, and the more relentless we are in pursuits for that or in pursuit of that happiness, that particular happiness, the more dissatisfaction we get. Understand? So like once you can just limit your scope of what happiness means to you, and then just focus on, okay, let me look at how I can actually like get those particular things that actually mean happiness to me. You understand? And in some situation, even what you might even think, see or think that will make us happy is not actually what will make us happy. Like we've actually discussed
exactly.
earlier, like some of those materialistic stuff. So we'll move to the second to the last question for this episode.
Ooh.
Do you think happy, do you think happiness is the ultimate goal, of human life, or is it just one piece of a larger puzzle of life?
Well, some people will say it is the ultimate goal. Oh, the only thing I want in this life is to be happy. Oh, I just want to be happy, blah, 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 blah. But well, I think it's just like a larger piece of the puzzle, too. Because why happiness is certainly important, there are also other aspects in life, like, I don't know, keeping up with the pace at which life is going. You don't just, if you're happy now, you have other responsibilities to do, like, I don't know, there are sure other things. It's not just the ultimate goal, like, you get. it's
Exactly,
not
yeah.
just, it's not just to be happy in life. You have other things to do, like, you have a purpose in this life. Like we Muslims says, we are only created to worship Allah and all that. When you are happy, hope you are remembering your God. When you are happy, hope you are remembering your parents and all other things that matter to you. You're not just focusing on your happiness alone. So you see, that's why it's not the ultimate goal. It's just a larger puzzle. It's just that, okay, we're just trying to, okay, myself, well, let me first check on myself before other things, you get. But after attaining your happiness, you have to check on other things in life that are important too.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that response. And that will take us to our last question for this episode. If happiness is not the end goal, what should we be pursuing instead?
Ah, she, but if it is not the final goal, or let me say, yeah, I think we could pursue, let's say, a life of purpose, meaning, fulfillment. Cultivating, a sense of wonder. You can pursue your passion, your interest. You can build like stronger relationship with people. You can do, things that are worth doing, like helping people, serving your God. You can even go out for ice cream shop. You can just do things that actually matters to you. If happiness is not the end goal, but Misha, when I'm happy, I think that's my end goal, and it might be contrasted with my last answer. But then it's
Everybody
sha.
wants to be happy.
Anyhow, I shall know. Anyhow, I must be happy. Although it's not kind of the end goal, but it's kind of the end goal. A touch of both sides,
Such of
something
both
like
sides. Exactly.
that.
So if sometimes our happiness might not actually be the end goal, sometimes it could be the happiness of another person, because it is that person's happiness that will actually make my own happiness come true. Let me give you an example. You know,
Obey, sha.
now,
Okay, let me.
let me give you an example. An example is,
Okay.
for example, I have one of my friends now, for example, is trying to win a competition and everything. And in that kind of situation, I want to be happy too. I also want to participate in competition. But then, if my friends wins that competition, it is his win, it is my win. I get it. Sometimes the end goal might not be our happiness. She might not be our happiness might not be our end goal. It could be other people's happiness, you understand? And sometimes putting everything together, like bringing the puzzles together, I think, and that the end goal is a sense of fulfillment. And to achieve that sense of fulfillment, sometimes you need to be happy. Sometimes you need to be sad. Sometimes you need to be angry. Sometimes you need to be excited. Sometimes you need to have a myriad of feelings, you understand, to actually be able to achieve that sense of purpose, you understand. So, like, sometimes happiness might be that particular thing that will lead. Like, happiness can be that particular route, you understand, that particular road that will lead to our sense of purpose, you understand. And sometimes it could be sadness too, like, that is actually life, you understand. So, like, yeah, sometimes happiness, and in the end of everything, it is still happiness, you understand.
You
So
just
that
tend to
is
go with the flow. Anything life throws
now.
at you, like you just have to embrace it and all that.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And sometimes you don't really have to accept what life throws at you, you understand. But everything is just too complicated. But then
Wait,
I
wait,
feel
wait,
in
wait.
the in
So if
life,
I don't accept what life throws at me, what am I supposed to do? Send it back to life?
yeah, I cannot actually send it back to life. But then you can
Life do
actually try
throws a
to.
lot of things to me. Let me know so that next time life throws anything to me and maybe I don't want it, let me know whether I'll throw it back to life and be like, no, I don't want that.
So you might not be able to throw it back to life, but you can actually we channel what life throws at you to actually make something good out of it. You understand? So
Yeah, I get that. Mm.
yeah, that is it. So our listeners, as we wrap up today's discussion on the pursuit of happiness, an individual journey or a product procedure construct, it is clear that happiness is as deep as it is universal. That is, happiness is universal and it is also deep. And it's clear that happiness is as deep as universal, like I said. And beyond being an abstract idea or a fleeting emotion, it is part and parcel of individual aspirations and the social world we inhabit. We've explored how societal norms, cultural narratives, and even economic system like consumerism influence what we believe will make us happy. At the same time, we've questioned whether true happiness can ever be entirely personal, untouched by collective fabric of human existence. Perhaps the real journey lies in understanding ourselves within the balance of embracing the path of happiness. The path of happiness we can define while recognizing and challenging the societal constructs that shape us. Before we go, I encourage you to reflect on your own happiness. How much of it feels authentic to you, and how much of it might be borrowed from external influences. And if happiness isn't the ultimate goal, what should we be striving for in this life? Thank you for joining me, Khalid Agawadi, on today's journey on Understanding Our Social World. And a big thank you to our guest, UmulKhayr Shuaibu, for her insightful contribution. She really made us she made us think, she made us laugh, and she made us really understand what the concept of happiness means in relation to our social world.
Khalid, thanks for having me too. And yes, please, listeners, if you don't really know what to do for happiness, you can come and be buying me ice cream every day. That will make you happy very much.
Exactly. Someone's happiness can also be
Wait,
our happiness too.
seeing a very cute smile on
So
my
if you
face can
find
make you happy. I can say that.
so if you found this episode interesting and thought provoking, please share with others who might enjoy it and who might learn something from it. And don't forget to subscribe to Understanding Our Social World on Spotify, on YouTube, and leave a review as they helps us continue to make these conversations meaningful and to also plan more meaningful conversations. Until next time, keep questioning, keep reflecting, and keep exploring the depths of our social world. Thank you very much.